mede enchasonko ema daily trends etiefo enyina sabre daily trends da de bremu eno abia ena ene yesande eba omangana nsem yensem no yenkona yenkuti ensema ewo ho.
Really disagree.
I totally
with the
disagree.
suggestion that we should vote for
the suggestion that we should extend the term. I'm going to campaign against it. And I'm very sure that extending MP's term to 5 years and a presidential term to 5 years will fall flat. I'm going to campaign against it. Ghanaians will not vote for that, and I'm begging the bloggers, please use this 3 News and TV3, please. I am going to vote against extending presidential and parliamentary terms. I'm going to vote against it. I'm going to campaign against it. Yes. People, I think that it should be even 2 years. After every 2 years, you have to come back to the people, and the people must vote for you based on your performance, based on your achievements. Not if you give me 2 years, 4 years, it is not enough for me to. I've been in Parliament for less than 2 years, and I don't remember. Sometimes I find it difficult to count the things that I've done in less than 2 years, and I don't have a budget.
It was one of the things I was going to come to.
I don't have a budget. Let me say this. I keep telling people, we in Goma have common sense in commercial quantities, and we can make something out of everything. You know, people say, I can make something out of nothing. In Goma, everything is something. So we don't say nothing. We can make something out of everything. For me, they have not regretted voting for me because we are not doing the ordinary. I don't want to be normal. I don't want to be ordinary. I want to do what people think is impossible, and so the people are seeing a change. They have seen something new. They have seen something that they didn't expect. They think that I have exceeded their expectation, and they see more coming. So we are not only talking about big promises, but they can see things happening on the ground. This year alone, in the last 18 months, we have commissioned 2 clinics and 5 new schools in Goma.
Five new schools.
Yes.
Is it basic schools?
Basic schools, yes, basic schools, which is unprecedented. In fact, we are building 1 school in Aboso. We are building 1 school in Obuasi. We are building 1 school in Afranse. So in all, by the end of this year, we would have built 6 new schools in the constituency. We have built chip compounds. We are bringing a lot to the constituency, and then we are expanding access to free internet. I believe that internet must be considered a human right. Every human being must have access to free internet, and that is why we continue to expand in the constituency.
There's a talk of an industrial park as well, which you've proposed for your constituent. Where are you on that?
When you say propose, it looks like we have an intention to build an industrial park. In fact, we are actually building the industrial park. When you come to the site,
you started building an industrial park.
We are far gone, and when you come to the site now, you see that factories have started springing up. We have a lot of factories that are coming up now. I have traveled the world to engage potential investors in investor promotions in Germany, in Switzerland, in China, in India, and all of these people from all of these countries are happy to come. We are now going to start actually building the roads by the end of this year.
The companies are going to take charge of building the roads by themselves.
We, the management of the Goma Special Economic Zone. You know, it used to be the Goma Goma Central Special Economic Zone, but we removed the Central because we believe that whether it is Goma East, Goma West, or Goma Central, is one Goma, and we want every Goma to benefit from the Special Economic Zone. And so we are working. We as the management team are building the roads. We are not working alone. We are working with the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. We are working with the Ghana Free Zones Authority. We are working with the Ghana Investment Promotion Authority. So what we have seen is that, or what we have realized is that the Ghana Free Zones Authority gives you access to bring your raw material into Ghana to produce your finished products and then export. Because of the size of the market, Ghana has about 33 million people. It makes it difficult for big industries to establish in Ghana if their concentration is on just the Ghanaian market. And that is why we have a draft MOU from the African Union via the Africa Continental Free Trade Area to allow us to leverage on AFTA to reach the 1.58 billion people on the entire African continent. So if you're producing in Gomwa, you are bringing your raw material in duty free, and then your finished goods are going to the 54 countries that have ratified the AFTA agreement tariff free. This is the market that we are opening to everybody who wants to operate in Gomwa, because you see, the population of Africa now stands at about 1.58 billion. The population of China is about 1.4 billion. However, the GDP of China is about 17 trillion. The GDP of Africa is about 3.4 trillion. The reason is that our markets there are too many trade barriers in Africa. Between Lagos and Abidjan, you will encounter about 70 trade barriers just between Lagos and Abidjan. But between Shanghai and Guangzhou, or Tianjin and Beijing, there are no trade barriers. And so when you produce in Shanghai, you can travel all the way, your goods can travel all the way without any tariffs. This is what we hope to establish in Gomwa, so that when you are coming to produce in Gomwa, you're manufacturing in Gomwa, your market is not just the Ghanaian market, the 34 million or the 400 million on the West African in the West African sub-region, but you are getting access to the entire 1.58 billion. So our zone is after Gomwa Special Economic Zone.
Do you have the buy-in of your colleagues from the other constituencies around the Gomwa area? Because you took out the central and it's now Gomwa Special Industrial Zone. So is this suggestive of the fact that all of the MPs, they are bought into the idea because it's for the people of Gomwa?
Yeah, of course. The question sounds like you go to a church and ask if everybody believes in Jesus. Of course, you're a Christian, you are there because of Christ, and this is a huge thing. My colleague on the West I've been in various conversations with my colleague on the West. Yes, who has shown.
That's the Deputy Energy Minister.
Yes, of course, who is very much supportive of this initiative. In fact, we have a plan to build a port in Gomwa in the next 3 years, so that you don't have to travel all the way to Tema or to Takrade to export or your goods or import your raw material.
And this will be private
elections, and you must pay attention to that, okay? Because it also, the foundation of our governance must necessarily also rest on our local, government system, and so you must pay attention closely to what happens at the local, level. The third year, you are thinking about your own. If you are a leader or a president who may be going for a second term, the third year, you are thinking about your own flag bearership race. And I tell you, that kind of race, that internal contest sometimes is more divisive and more distracting and exacting even than the national election. And so the person focuses so much on that, and governance suffers. The fourth year, you are seeking a re-election. It's an election year. And so I was not surprised that J. Kufuor, when he was exited, made